Hey, so today's topic is how do you respond if you're not listening?
Who's listening?
You not listening. You supposed to be listening.
You're responding.
Okay, you know what? Who was on first and who was on third? Anywho, let me tell you, this was one of the topics that we really wanted to talk about because this, in essence, help our marriage make it through the tough times, right?
That's the truth.
I mean, our therapist hit us with this one. He was like, "What is he talking about? I am listening." Nope, we were not listening. I was so surprised at his explanation. You know, it requires you to have pen and paper at hand sometimes.
Yeah.
Which is good because now, I think what it was where we were talking at each other and we were expressing, but we really was not listening to each other's feelings, but we just didn't know how.
Or also just hearing what the other person is saying. Because, you got so much noise going on in your head because you're, focused on what you're trying to say. And you're not paying attention to what the other person is saying.
You're trying to respond to a question and they didn't even get it all out yet.
Mm-hmm. So I think, one of the techniques is, it's okay to take notes.
Yeah.
Like you think about it, you'll be in interviews, you'll be in couples therapy, like, take notes. And then you can come back to those points.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, and yeah, we want to say that we can take mental notes, but you know what? If you're emotionally charged, you ain't taking no mental note.
Nope.
So you know what? Yeah, maybe it's okay to get out a pen and paper and write down, what you're hearing. Because when you write it down, you may also pull together what the other person is saying.
Absolutely.
Which then makes your response
different.
A better response, because now it's like, I'm not responding to each point, And then it can also make a pattern. You're like, wait a second. Now I understand what you're asking me. You're looking at it from their perspective, and I'm looking at it from here. You're like, because now it makes sense. But if I'm trying to respond to each point and I'm doing that while you're talking, then it's not getting any better.
And we get frustrated and and then it goes the wrong way when we should just take the time to listen to, because if we listen, it might answer some of the questions. It might curb the anger or curb whatever's going on, because now we're really taking we're making a concerted effort to listen to what my partner is saying. I'm listening to what Jason is saying. He's listening to what I'm saying. And then we respond. Because if you're trying to respond to something and I'm in the middle of my question or my concern or my issue, then you're really not listening to me. I think when we start, what you say, become emotionally charged, our hearing stops.
Yeah, because you got all this screaming going on in your head.
And on the outside too.
On the outside, but I'm saying, inside,
like,
you're
still
like, I didn't do that. That's what you're thinking in your head. And in actuality, it's like, but you're not listening to the person because you're still focused on, what's going on. Yeah, your thoughts.
And your thoughts and your concerns and how I need to defend myself first. I think what we were trying to do was we're trying to defend what we did when it wasn't about defending. It was just letting each other know how we feel, letting each other know, like, this is why I'm coming at you. This is why I have this issue because of this.
I saw this exercise online where the couple said they sit back to back and they each get, like 3 minutes of time to talk.
Mm-hmm.
And all you can do is sit there and listen for that 3 minutes.
Can you take notes?
You can take notes. You're not looking at the person. You're sitting back to back.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to be quiet for those 3 minutes. You can't respond. And when 3 minutes is up, it's kind of like they said, like they use 3 minutes. They both like boxing and 3 minute rounds. So they 1 3 minute, and then the other person goes for 3 minutes. Now your 3 minutes, you can respond to what that person, because now you've taken notes, you listen. You're in your neutral corner. At that point, and they said it was a way for them to get through and to listen to what the other person is saying, because, and I can imagine, you think about it, you do listen more. We even did this. So I was with a group where nonprofit leaders get together to help another nonprofit leader with their problem. And at some point, when the person that's given the problem has to listen, they have to come off screen. They can't look at our face, and we can't look at this, because you don't want that to be a part of the language and understand. Like, you just want to take in everything that we're saying to you. All you can do is listen. You can't respond. And it's such a hard thing to do, even in that setting where you're not emotionally charged, but because you just want to respond to somebody's point. It's so hard. And so now take that into your relationship where you are emotionally connected, where there is some passion going on there. So, like, even the point of taking the screen off, like I said, that's why I think they did the turning around, because if I'm not,
I can't see your facial expression.
Exactly. So now I can't get charged by the way that you're saying, like looking at you and all those. So all I can do is just listen and focus in on listening. And because you're really going to focus on listening, because you think about it, your voice is projecting the opposite way of the person you're talking to. So I really have to pay attention now, because if I'm looking at you, my voice is coming right at you. I don't have to focus, right?
And the other part is when we talk to each other, we wear our facial expression speaks volumes too.
Not looking, is perfect. I mean, think about it. Even when we were our wedding day, we're on the opposite sides of the door. We couldn't see each other, and we're expressing our love to each other. Like, it was such an intimate moment, such a meaningful moment. Those words meant so much, but we couldn't see each other because we were focused on just listening to what you were saying, and I was listening to what you were listening to what I was saying.
What happened after that?
We need that door again.
We needed that door.
So now, from now on, when you having a disagreement with somebody, put a door between you.
No,
I'm just kidding.
So when we went earlier on, that was the hardest thing for us to do. I mean, very, very difficult, because we're both vocal. We want to get our point across.
What you say? You're a dominant communicator?
I'm a dominant. I was a dominant communicator. Okay, I'm done. I said my piece. I'm done. But I realized that I'm harping on the first word, negative word to come out your mouth, which not necessarily means that it's going to continue negatively. It's just that that's the first thing I heard. And then now I'm not listening now because I want to respond to that. Well, you don't get to say that to me. But in essence, I needed to wait. I need to listen to what you said. Listen to what, and really listen, because then I could take note of how you said it, what made you say it, and how it will affect the conversation from this point forward.
And get clarification. What if you just didn't hear it for real? Like, think about it. We don't hear everything. Like, we be watching TV, and then sometimes what they say, I don't know. You heard what they said? I don't know. We both watch the same thing. We're turning up the volume, but we didn't hear it, right? So imagine that could also happen when you're talking to somebody. You may not have heard exactly what they said too, which could have been an audible thing. The way that they said it, the word, like all that could change. One word can change the meaning of a whole sentence.
Yeah, and then our emotions get the best of us too. Again, when we get emotionally charged and we're trying to get this point across, when we can't actively listen to each other. I think one of the things that our therapist said is, when you get into that moment where you cannot stop and listen, you need to break away. We need to stop, because this is not going to get us anywhere. And I think we just went on. I mean, we went at each other because we both trying to get this. We're just not listening to each other. By this point, we are now screaming at each other. We have completely stopped listening to each other. We are now both fighting to get our point across. And then we're mad at each other for the next time. Why? Because we didn't stop, listen, and then respond. And I think the exercise that he told us to do was even just bring out a pen and a piece of paper. Take notes but take attentive notes, meaning, yes, I'm taking notes, but I'm still listening to you, because I want to respect your opinion and your point and your issues and your concern. And to do that, then I have to listen to you and not respond every time you say something that I need to address. Now that's not easy. Even now we still have a little bit of a challenge of doing that. Because again, I think our passion for uh for our relationship is even stronger because we want this to work. Because we know that we are fully vested in this relationship, that our passion sometimes overshadow us stopping and listening to one another. Right?
I agree. Yeah, I think that that's figuring out and then putting together the pieces.
Oh my
As you're
gosh.
listening
Oh
to
my
it,
gosh,
like
yes.
what are you actually trying to
Because
communicate?
sometimes I'm all over.
You're both. I mean, it happens. Like what are you trying to communicate? What is actually the point that you're trying to make here?
And to respect that. To respect that point. Like
Mm-hmm.
you may not like it, I might not like it, but this is where we stand. This is how I'm feeling. And
I don't think it's about the other person. And we got also think it may not be about us liking it.
Yes.
It's listening to what they're saying, because you may say it as like, oh, it's just this, but it's not just that to that person.
Yes.
Maybe it's so much more. I mean, we have different triggers, we have different beliefs, we grew up differently, like all these different things. So it's like you can't just assume that because you're cool with it, that the other person, your partner, is cool with it too. There's no, it may not be, and maybe that's a thing for them.
And sometimes when I feel like if you become okay with it, I don't think you really heard me. I don't think you really listening to. Are you listening to what I'm saying here?
Huh?
See, you gonna stop doing that. But I really believe that it's all about making sure when we're listening, we're really embodying what we're saying. That we're really concerned about what you're saying, and the end resolution is to what?
Get to a place of harmony and agree. Not necessarily agree, because you may not agree.
I'm about to say we might not agree.
We just got to get to a place, like when I say harmony, that we're at peace.
You said what you said.
We good.
I said what I said, and we're good. And we've
good.
moved on from that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people get stuck in that rut. Like, it's okay that we don't agree.
I think that's part of the issue. And you said stuck in the rut. I think it's the rut, and the rut is you believe you need to agree,
and you do not.
You don't. I mean, like, we may not agree, and it's okay to not agree.
That's what our therapist said.
It's okay to not agree. We got to find harmony. Where's the peace? Where is the happy medium that we could be in? Now, the happy medium may be an agreement.
Exactly.
But if it's not,
then it's okay.
That's fine.
But because the main thing we got out of it is that we listen to each other. Mm-hmm. And we listen and we responded in a respectful manner.
And that listening, is key. And like, I think about the other day when you said you just felt closed in because there was so much stuff around.
Oh my God.
And it was just like,
and he listened.
And listen, I just got up and just started moving stuff and putting stuff in different places so that you wouldn't see it. And you were like, thank you. And it was like, for me, I was fine because I knew that stuff it just came in. So it wasn't like it had been sitting there for months. It was like it literally just came in. But if for you, it was your thing, then who am I to say, like, I can't take away your thing. That's your thing. Okay. It doesn't bother me. So if it bothers you, let me take care of it because it doesn't bother me. Now if it bothers me too, then we both may be just frustrated looking at it like, but because one of us wasn't, I think it made it easier, and I had no reason not to listen. So I listened, and I made it a decision.
And I And I do so much appreciate it. That was the best thing ever. But I also wanted to go back to when we first started and we were when we were getting to our arguments. We were so frustrated with each other that nothing we said mattered.
Then you forget what you even arguing about.
And I was about to say, and then because we weren't listening to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem could have been something so elementary but we weren't listening to the root of the problem. So we couldn't solve it. So we couldn't come to this happy medium. And it just got worse. And we just kept going down that rabbit hole and we couldn't find our way out of it. And I had to listen to my husband and his frustration about, the little things or the little things that I thought weren't a big deal, but they were a big deal for him. Like respecting him when he says, look, listen, I don't like this and this is how I feel. And to listen was to listen to understand. There's a root problem here. That's me and my mouth. I need to fix my mouth. You need to fix it. And vice versa. I think we had got so deep down in that we couldn't come back. We tried. It was I think that was the most difficult time of our life. And that's when we had to enlist our therapist. I'm gonna give all of the kudos to my husband because he put forth a lot of effort. And I was like, okay, you know what? I can't do this. I was the weakest link of this relationship. And I'm glad he was not. I am grateful that he was not. And to bring us to this therapist was a lifesaver for me. And when he said, okay, you all are just talking. You're not listening to each other.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, we are listening to each other. He was like, you're not.
We're not listening to me.
He was like, what did you just say? What did he just say? And I was like, he said he didn't like this. No, what he said was, and I just stopped. And I was like, is that what I heard? No, I don't think that's what I heard. I heard him say this. He's like, no. He said, he had his pad. He said, I'm writing it down.
Mm-hmm.
He said, no, this is what he said. And again, I'm over here trying to respond because now I'm just done at this point. I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't care what he said. This is how I feel. I'm not listening. But I'm not listening to what the root of the problem was.
Mm-hmm. That's the point right there. So at some point you get to that point where you're just like, I don't care what they say.
Exactly.
This is my point.
Exactly.
That's it. I mean, I think that is it for both of us. It's like, when you say it like that, it sounds so harsh.
It does.
But it's real, and that's what you're doing. Essentially, every time you're responding without listening, you are basically saying, I don't give a damn what you're saying. Here's my point. Like,
and that's
what's
we were.
what people say when they say, no disrespect, but okay, I'm about to disrespect you.
Exactly.
Like, I don't mean no harm. I'm about to harm you. It's just the same kind of thing. It's like you just can't say those things, and you can't do it. So, the topic needs to be even changed. It's like, how are you responding when you're not listening? No, basically it's like you are basically saying, "F you." Here's my point. That's what you're saying when you're responding without listening.
And that's what we were doing. We were just like, I don't care what you say.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I feel.
Yep.
Don't matter what you feel. And so with the help of our therapist, I mean, it took how many sessions? Oh my goodness. It took a lot of sessions for us to really realize that we had to stop and listen to what each other was saying.
Yeah.
And I think it was more difficult for me because I think I was like, I just don't care. And I think it was adamant for you because of your passion and how you wanted this to work for us. I wanted it to work.
I want you to hear me.
Yes. And I wasn't hearing him. And I was not hearing him.
And you felt the same thing though. Like you wanted me to hear you, but I wasn't hearing you. Because I'm too busy wanting you to hear me.
We were too busy wanting to hear each other. Again, we weren't listening to each other.
I don't know.
We weren't. And And to have that neutral party say, y'all got some problems, y'all not listening to each other, was a big eye opener because we really thought we were. Like, I hear you. You said you don't like me. No, see, that's not what I said. I don't like when you do this. But all I could hear was, I don't like you. And I don't like this. And I don't like this. And this. All I hear is, I don't like. I don't like. And then you take that and you just embellish upon it. You just move, keep building on it. And then it just becomes the part of the whole conversation each and every time you have that breakdown in communication, right? Because all I know is he's going to come back and say, I don't care what you say, but this is what I'm saying. And we kept that cycle going and going and going and going. And can I tell you, we have gotten so much better with that. We don't have to write it down. Sometimes I do. I do pick up a pen and don't let them see. Because, I am a little, I won't write this down.
I heard her say that, right?
No, I did not. Anywho. But
it's on video. It's on tape now.
Listen to you. But what I do want my husband to know is that I hear you. I'm listening. And I take everything you say. I analyze it. Not too deep. And then I'm ready to respond.
And then even when you listen, and I appreciate that. And thank you for that. And it made me think about like listening for me also. I hear my wife, I hear you, I listen to you. And even listen to what you're saying when you don't even say it. And I think when you get to that point, it's feeling good. When the person is saying kind of when somebody is hinting at something, or maybe even not. Maybe they're subconsciously just saying something. And it's like, I got this. It was like, and it could be something small. Like, just like, no, I'm gonna go run to the store and pick this up. Don't worry about it. You good. Or I'm gonna cook. Or like it just like whatever it is, it could be just in that moment, you felt the energy, and that's that listening. I'm listening to your energy. And your energy is saying, I'm exhausted. So let me bear the weight for you, at this time. And do that. And that's what we do as partners now. Like, you gotta take care of each other. You hear, you see, you feel. When that person needs that something. And that's that listening.
It goes back to when you said to me, look, I'm frustrated. Got a lot on my plate right now. I can't deal with this. And I'm like, okay, I hear you. What you're saying is, give me a little bit of break. Can you fix dinner? Can you just, and I stopped and I listened. And I'm like, well, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Did I frustrate you? Because if it was us 8, 9 years ago, first thing I would have said was, oh, so you saying I'm frustrated?
I took everything personal.
Oh, so you did.
I damn sure did. There's no doubt. You'd be like, this happened at work. Oh, so because of me? But I caused that at work. I wasn't even at you at work. I wasn't even at work with you.
But you know what? Because we were so, it was just such a difficult task.
I don't know how we made it.
I keep saying, how the hell we make through this?
I don't keep it real. And it's funny that people didn't know.
Yeah.
Like my mother told me the other day, she said, y'all are great. I said, it wasn't always that way. She said, I would have never known. And I said, dang, that's crazy.
I think we kind of hid it a little bit, because I'm going to be honest with me. I know it was a hidden taboo for me because we had this big wedding. We professed our love. We shouldn't have any problems. We shouldn't be having these issues.
But that's reality.
Now we know that.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that. I didn't realize that people have real issues. So we got married. We had this big.
But I think also the one thing I do think about what you always said from the beginning is, you tell the stories from your perspective and from other experiences that you've seen with other people, that we don't do that in public. We don't do that in front of the kids.
Exactly.
And so I think that has always stuck with us because we don't, regardless of how
Bill
pissed off we are with each other, like it's not going to show in other company. If we happen to be around our other company now.
We try our best not to do that.
There you go.
Because we wear our feelings on our shoulders.
So if we're in a place, we're just not going to be around other people as much as we can. But if we have to be, then there's a silent agreement, and we're going to be okay. And we're going to look like we are the best couple ever in front of everybody else. And we're going to get in the car and we're not going to talk. And we're going to drive back very quietly.
Very quietly.
And I'm be like, you want Starbucks? No, I'm okay. All right.
No, I'm okay.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, see? That's what he's listening. He hears his angry voice. And I'm like...
It gets deeper, too. Her voice just gets deeper.
Yeah, that's scary. Anyway, so I think this topic was, again, our saving grace. Therapist helped us do this because we needed it. There would have been no way we would have made it out of this without his help. Mm-hmm. I know I am grateful and appreciative because I wouldn't be sitting by my love right now if it wasn't for him.
That's true.
Oh, listen to you. What about me?
What? You said you wouldn't be sitting by me. I wouldn't be sitting by you. We wouldn't be sitting by each other.
That's true. But, and we want to say this. Listening is hard. Listening, responding before you can truly listen is even more harder. So please put the effort in to listen to what your partner has to say. Listen fully because you want to get to the root of that. So you won't keep carrying this disagreement, argument into the night, into the next day. It's so unhealthy.
I agree.
It's so unhealthy. Mm-hmm. And again, they always say, don't go to sleep angry. You know what? I know my husband gonna get some sleep. So we're gonna have to finish this tomorrow. So that's a myth. We just gonna call it what it is.
Let's keep it real.
Let's keep it real. Because people get tired. You get tired of fussing and fighting.
And if you're tired,
it makes it even worse.
Your fussing is gonna be worse. Your listening is gonna be even poorer.
Yeah, we ain't listening at this point.
Take a break. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
It's like that baby who needs a pacifier.
Yep. I say, take your butt to bed, wake up, be refreshed, and then talk it out later.
And it might come in calmer.
Yeah, come in better. I'm much better. We're both morning people.
I know I am.
Yeah, we're both morning people, so we're much better in the morning than we would be at night. Later it gets like 9, 10 o'clock at night. You want me to have a discussion?
I think my husband fell asleep on me one time before. Anyway, and
I was listening though. No, they tell you to listen to the recordings when you go to sleep. I remember in college and you put the recording on and you were studying to be better. That's what I was doing. You were telling me what you were
Oh my gosh, hush.
I was just sleeping.
And know this, that once you go back, you go to sleep, then your listening becomes more clear. Because now you don't have any other factors in the mix. You're tired. You've been screaming at each other. You're all trying to get your point across. I think we reset. Now we're really and truly ready to listen. We've gotten some rest. We want to get this over with. We want to get it done. And we want to get back to loving each other. Right? That's right.
I love you.
I love you too. So, we're going to end this here. Again, please chat with us. We really want to hear from you guys. Don't be scared. If you have some questions, we're here to answer, right?
Yes. Post on our page. Do what you want.
Do what you want. Don't be nasty, though. Be nice. Well, babe, this is it for us.
It's it for us. What do you mean?
I mean, Stop it.
Oh.
You listen. You're my rock.
You're my piece. You trying to scare me, motherfucker. You were like, it's it for us. I was like, wait, what?
Listen, know that we love you guys. Next topic. She's a runner. She's a track star. You're going to want to hear that one.
It's connected. It's the Olympic team.
Stop it. All right, guys. We out of here. We love you guys. Peace.
Team USA.
Bye.